Redemption arcs. Everybody loves redemption stories. We're going to look at one today. So I got a new knife from HX Outdoors. And if you guys remember, they sent me a pretty bad knife. They have redeemed themselves by sending me a new knife that is absolutely night and day. I like it. It might not be for everybody. And I'm not going to say it's perfect because it's not. But compared to the last one we saw, absolutely amazing. So let's turn this around, take a look at this from above, and show you the difference. All right, guys. Now, like I said in the intro, I like a good redemption story. This is a knife that came to me from HX Outdoors. If you guys remember, they sent me a knife not too long ago that was pretty bad, but this one is basically night and day compared to the last one. So this one is a much better version of their knives. Now, it's still going to have some things wrong with it, but you're looking at what is a pretty decent under $50 budget knife. It's done in D2 titanium scales. It is a steel liner and steel backspacer. Nice little pocket clip on it. I've only had this, well, I mean, I've had this for a little while, but it's like the second day it's been out of the box. I didn't want to do a blind unboxing because I wanted to be able to give them a heads up if this knife was bad as well. And I'm impressed with the difference in this. Now, it's not, like I said, not perfect. Let's look at the box first. So it is the ZD15T by HX Outdoors. Comes in this nice little case. They're not horrible. They're not horrible little cases. It is made in China. It is a little pick and pluck case. I'm probably going to repurpose these cases. I have two of these now, or at least one of them. But yeah, pretty cool. So let's go ahead and look at the knife because it's not bad at all. It is a nice little D2 blade on this. It is a flipper liner lock. It is tip up only. And it's not ambidextrous. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're looking for an ambidextrous knife, it does not have an ambidextrous pocket clip. And if things feel out of sorts, I have a new tripod and I'm trying to, it doesn't sit. It's not in the same position as the last one. So it is not anything special and over the top. I just wanted to throw that out there, but it is pretty good compared to what it was. You have a nice behind the edge profile on this D2 blade. And this thing came really, really sharp. Like the other one wasn't sharp. The other one wasn't sharp. It was misground. Good grind on this. Now, before we go any further, I know some of you guys are probably going to be like, well, they probably picked one out for you. This did not come from HX Outdoors directly. This came through their Amazon store, shipped through Amazon. So that means that it just basically came out of whatever stock was available at their Amazon site or at Amazon, wherever that may be. So really, really cool. You do have titanium scales over top of steel liner and backspacer. Now, steel liner on one side, and it's got this nice little flipper tab on it. It does have a very good shape to it where you have this integral finger guard up here, which is like, this is the only way I've held it and used it. And I've used it a little bit. It's pretty comfortable in hand in this grip. You can get back here, but it's not quite as comfortable. This just seems to be the natural point. And then this, on the spine back here, you've got really good jimping on this thumb ramp that basically is really akin to what you feel in hand when you're pinched up in it with the Spyderco PM2. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and get that out for a little quick size comparison. There you go. Just a quick size comparison so you can see next to each other. They're not really far apart in size, but you can see what I'm saying is you've got this thumb ramp on this that you get in a Spyderco, which is really, really good. And there you go for size comparison. You can see PM2, pretty well known. We'll grab one more knife for size comparison using the Benchmade 940 for this comparison. For those who new to the channel, I do this so you can see, like have a visual reference on this. Yeah, probably the best known knife in the knife industry. And this thing is coming in just at about 7.5 inches on the mat. When we do the full review, I'll get you the full specs. But let's go ahead and get this out of the way. So the blade on this is kind of a sheep's foot, like a modified sheep's foot, kind of a drop point. It is a very, very functional blade so far that I've had it in use. Like I said, with this nice broad, the belly on it is not broad, but long. This long transition to the tip. The belly on it is not a heavy radius, so you can do a lot of things with it. It reminds me almost as like the blade shape on what you would get on a Spyderco Endura, where you've got that that nice sweep to the blade where it comes down, but it's not super, super thin. So like I said, nice thin behind the edge profile. I'm pretty happy with the comparison on this. The action on it is nice and snappy. You can hear right there. I have not had it fail to deploy. I do have some problems getting it to reverse flick, but that's just the size of my hands and the size of the knife thing. But there's no sharp areas on this. It's been finished pretty well. Now, with any knife, you're going to find some problems. And I do have a couple little problems with this. And maybe I've got rose-colored glasses on because the other one was so bad. But this one's kind of impressing me. We're going to see how it handles over the longer term. But let's talk about the negative stuff. Let's do a quick flip side of the knife, flip side of the story, and talk about those things. So this is kind of, like I said, impromptu video. First things first, I'm not a fan of the jimping on the lock bar. I think you could have gotten away without having jimping on that. It would have definitely not been as uncomfortable to disengage. And it does have occasionally a little bit of lock stick. I think that over the break-in, it's going to get a little bit better, but every once in a while, you'll feel a little bit of lock stick. It's not so much that it has so much detent pressure on it, I think, is causing it. I think it's just that it just came and it's going to smooth itself out a little bit. This is one of those cases. I did put a little bit of graphite on there, and it seems to have resolved the issue. A little bit of pencil lead on there will do it too. But I do wish that the lock bar was a little bit thicker and possibly not at all jimped. It is kind of uncomfortable because the lock bar tension is pretty stiff. Next thing, I'm not a big fan of the pocket clip. The pocket clip's not horrible. It definitely isn't, but it sits, it also kind of sits in a position like the last one where it's on that cutout where you're just going to have some roughness in and out of pocket. And then with all of this texturing on the titanium, it's a little bit rough in and out of pocket. And then it's just that it's not the best pocket clip, because on something like this, you should have kind of gotten a deeper carry pocket clip on it on a smaller knife like this. There's a lot of knives sticking out of your pocket. So if that's something that you don't find pleasant, you might kind of want to shy away from this one. Next thing, the flipper tab's really good. I like it's got one of those unique positions where it's really good deploy and it completely disappears, but the jimping on it is not necessary. You don't really need that much jimping on it. It's a little bit sharp when you deploy the knife. It doesn't need to be quite that sharp. And then the last thing, it's a little heavy. For a smaller knife, it's a little heavy, and that's because it's got a very heavy steel backspacer in it. And then the steel liner, even though they did some weight reduction, you know, there's holes that are in it, they could have done a good bit more weight reduction in this. And then if you're going to go ahead and go with titanium scales, maybe do a titanium, you know, a titanium frame lock, a titanium liner lock, titanium backspacer. This knife would have been significantly lighter, which means that the balance of the blade is further back past than I typically like. It's just about here as opposed to neutral. It's kind of tail heavy. So other than that, the way it cuts and the way it feels, we're going to see another video about it. The other one I didn't even bother to do a second video about. So this one's going to get a full review, and I'll let you know how I feel about it. But yeah, that's pretty much it on this one, guys. Let's turn this around. Let's do some final thoughts and send you out about your day. There you go, guys. Like I said, all in all, this is not a bad little knife. I like this a lot. I may be doing this as a giveaway for my paying members. Only thing I can really say about it is it's a little bit heavy. I'm going to carry this for a while. We're going to do a full review of it. This was basically just first impressions. So yeah, really nice. The fact that it's so thin behind the edge. But anyway, not to reiterate what we've already talked about. Guys, you know what to do. There will be links to this down below. I will make sure that I provide you a link to this because actually I recommend this for a nice little budget, right around 44 bucks. You know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon if you like the video. Make sure that you're using my affiliate links down below if you're going to purchase knives. The Amazon store, if you're going to purchase anything from Amazon, take those links, use them. That's how I support what I do here. It's like self-sponsorship. Couple of the links down below, Coffee Brand Coffee and Tempered Trail, have got a discount built into the link. Saves you 10% just by clicking on that link. Speaking of discount, coupon code crazysharp works at Fair and Forged Knife Works, KATSU Knives, Rosecraft Blades, and if they still have any stock, I keep forgetting, it's like 40% off over at Beyond EDC if they have any stock left. I also have got, Crazy Sharp, all one word. Sorry guys, Crazy Sharp, all one word. I've also got a membership down below if you want to support the channel. That way you get early access to video, exclusive content. I am going to start doing some giveaways for the premium tier guys again. And I have a public Discord down below. You'll see it says join the community. Check that out. You can get in there, ask questions. If you have knives that you haven't ever seen on the channel you would like to send in for review, we can do that through the DM function, and we can get that all worked out. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I will see you in the next video.